How pissed were you and your teammates last night? We're all watching on social media your reactions. I mean, how angry were you? And do you have a problem with the way the Eagles played that game as a guy who respects integrity of competitiveness?
I was angry because I know that we had 16 opportunities, to make it happen. And anytime you put your destiny in another man's hands, it typically doesn't bode well for you. So, I'm not really angry at what they done. They don't owe us anything. But we had countless opportunities to, make it happen, and we didn't. So, it is what it is. It's just a tough pill to swallow.
Zach. Hey, Jabrill. Now the season is over. Can you just reflect for a second, on how this season went for you? Do you feel like, I know, your numbers on paper obviously are better, and the end result of not making the playoffs obviously is a big part of it. But how'd you feel like you played this year?
I played all right. I feel like I left a lot of plays out there. Just gotta come back stronger and better next year, man. I feel as though, even though, my numbers are up on paper, I still feel as though, that really wasn't much. But, like I said, we get a little time to, get our bodies back, mentally refresh, and, have our own prize next season.
Thanks.
Of course. Hey, Jabrill. Do you have a different feeling ending this season now as opposed to 1 year ago as far as what the outlook of this team is?
Well, every year you start fresh. This team won't look the same next year. None of the other teams in the league will look the same next year. So, that's the beauty of the league. You get to start fresh. And, build your way up to the top.
Are you down, Jabrill? You seem down today.
Like I said, it's just a tough pill to swallow. I know, there's been countless opportunities throughout this 16-week, schedule that we had, where, if we made a play here or there, this conversation we're having to be very different. But, like I said, man, it's just a tough pill to swallow.
Hi, Leonard.
Jabrill, I know your fifth-year option was picked up, but do you think you played well enough this year? And maybe have there been any kind of conversations, or I don't know if you had your exit meeting yet, but, is there a sense that you and the Giants both want to get something done for the long term here, considering how important you were to this year's team?
We haven't really talked about anything. It's not really on my mind right now. Like I said, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. But like I said, we just gotta mentally refresh. Get our bodies back. Come back next year. That's what my main concern is.
Can you walk us through a little bit how this morning has gone? Obviously there's usually a team meeting, guys go through their exit interviews. How different is it with the distancing protocols, and what has your morning been like? What has the team's morning been like?
We had meetings, guys cleaning out their lockers. Typical stuff when, the season is over.
All right, thanks, man.
We'll take three more. Tom Rock, Jordan, Lombardo. Tom Rock.
Jabrill, do you think that given your games against the Eagles and the way things worked out last night, that when the schedule comes out for next season, those two games are going to be circled right away by you guys?
Every game is important, and divisional games are worth too. So, like I said, man, we're not really tripping off, how last night went. We know that if we took care of our business earlier in the season when we had the opportunities to, things would be a little different. But, you take it as a learning experience. You have that wisdom to build on for next year, to make sure that, you don't, leave your destiny in another team's hands.
Which obviously you finished one game out of first place and in the division. Which is there one in particular that kind of sticks with you as you look back at the entire 16?
I mean, I'm not really trying to reflect, but, we've had countless opportunities, throughout our 16-week schedule to, shape our own destiny, and we didn't capitalize. So, that's the tough pill to swallow when you know you're that close. But, like I said, man, we're going to take it with a grain of salt. We're going to get our bodies back. We're going to mentally refresh and be ready to get this thing going again.
Thank you.
Jordan.
Hey, Jabrill. I know it's hard to think about the future now, but what's your desire to get something done this offseason in regards to making sure your long-term future is potentially here?
Like I said, man, we just worrying about getting our bodies back, mentally refreshing, and, making things happen next year. That's what my main concern is. Anything else I'm not really thinking about.
Does this off season work any differently? I mean, there's still the COVID restrictions for a lot. I mean, for guys, around this country. The way you plan on handling it, how do you plan on approaching that?
Same way I've always approached it. What is a will, it is a way. You're a professional athlete. It's up to you to keep your body up to par, stay in shape, know what you're putting in. And, I don't see this offseason being any different.
Last one here, Lombardo.
Hey, Jabrill, where does the defense go from here? What do you guys need to do going into next season to take the next step?
Well, like I said, we got to take a step away, get our bodies back, mentally refresh. No one knows how next year looks, but, what guys can do is self-scout, look at the tape, see what they did well, see what they didn't do well, and, try to gain an advantage that way. But, right now our main concern is, getting our bodies back, mentally refreshing, so we can hit the ground running.
It seems like you guys kind of built some momentum down the stretch. I mean, you had the game in Seattle. You had some close games yesterday. Of course, the big turnover at the end. Can you carry momentum, or can you learn lessons from this year to carry into next season?
We don't really believe in momentum. Everything comes down to execution. Either you're executing or you're not. And we know what it looks like and what it takes to execute at a high level on Sunday, and we know what it looks like when we don't. So, that's going to be our philosophy moving forward, man. Just make sure we execute and paying attention to the most minute details so we can put it all together.